Hello, Market Club members everywhere. Adam Hewison here, co-founder of Market Club, with your midday market update for Friday, the 8th of June. What a week it's been. Also, Obama urges decisive action on European debt crisis, and the Europeans yawn. One thing that Europeans dislike intensely is the United States telling them what to do. President Obama's comments today are not going to be taken well by Chancellor Angela Merkel or other politicians in the Eurozone. Several European countries have problems with other European countries and dislike being dictated to by Germany. They dislike it even more when an American president comes in and tries to lay down the law. There are no painless fixes for what has been going on for years, and that's the bottom line. Well, let's take a look at the markets. We're looking at a weekly chart on the S&P 500, and as you can see, it's going to close higher for the week, and we're looking at a candlestick chart. It's a very strong candlestick move up. However, it's not out of the woods yet, and we need to just put a line chart on to get an idea. You see, there's the line chart, and it's a question of where we close today. So my feeling is we've gone from a very oversold condition to one that's sort of midpoint, so we have to give this market just a little bit more time. Going on to our next market on the S&P 500, from the S&P 500 to the Dow, much the same thing there, very oversold, coming back. On a weekly basis, you can see we're obviously closing higher, and not a bad close at all given the fact that it's been always up and down here, but it's a 55 range on the weekly, indicating a trading range as opposed to a strong downward trend as we saw here, basically the 3 or 4 weeks down and then one more week down, but we have not started a upward trend yet in our opinion based on our trade triangles, both of which are negative. So next market is the NASDAQ, and this is the composite, and you can see, again, another positive week. 75 here, minus 75, I should say. It's a little bit slanted towards the downside, so nothing to get too excited about just yet. I think there's a lot more problems in Europe, and I think it's certainly reflected in the market to a large extent. Has it been totally discounted? I'm not so sure, because I think I don't know if anyone saw the Greek parliamentary TV yesterday when they slapped. I mean, it's going to get very slapped. One person of that forum slapped somebody else from the far left. I mean, it's going to get very, very ugly over there in Greece, and we want to be careful it doesn't happen in this country as well. So looking at silver, silver actually is going to be closing lower for the week, about unchanged practically, but you can see this plus 55 indicating that our monthly and weekly are sort of at discourse, and we've just been going sideways, sideways, sideways. In fact, if we put a close-only chart, you'll see how flat this market's been. Look, it's been virtually flat for the last 4 or 5 weeks. So I think that's something to really pay attention to. So next market, looking at this next market, we're looking at gold. This is again a weekly chart. Gold is actually closing lower for the week, which is kind of surprising. But if you just put a line chart on, you can see how we're closing. And that's sort of in the same 55, a trading range, sort of moving sideways. Not yet prepared for this market to go a lot higher, so I think we'd have to go over the 1720 area, something 1730 area to get everything really super duper bullish. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I think next week we'll see this market sort of just bounce around again. So let's see what next market is going to be copper. And copper actually is closing in new low ground for the move, and I think that's on a weekly basis. It does not look good. And as you know, copper is a reflection of economic growth here in the United States and the world. And if this is going down, it doesn't augur well for any kind of strong recovery. So let's pay close attention to this metal, because this is not a good close, certainly lower for the week. That marks the 6th week in a row that we have seen this market lower. So I think it's very, very important to watch that as well. So going to crude oil. Crude oil is really kind of flat for the week. You can see we had a big rally up here to about 87, coming back down to 83.36. We were trading down, I think, towards 82.5 earlier. But nonetheless, this market, which closed 2 weeks ago at 83.26, is currently trading at 83.36. I don't know if you've taken the poll on Market Club, but you may want to take a look at that poll and give your opinion. But we do have a 90% score, minus 90 score, I should say, on this market, with 3 markets, 3 triangles down. not a good sign for a turnaround right now in this market. So let's go to our next market. And the next market is going to be the euro. Much the same to do about the euro. The monthly and the weekly are down, indicating the trend continues to be negative. And we've seen a little bit oversold condition, but we're coming back a little bit. But nonetheless, this market does have strong resistance right around the 126 level. And I don't think we'll see it going over there anytime soon. I think you should be looking for a place to go short this market, looking for a move down to 120. Now, last market we're looking at is the Jefferies CRB Index. And you can see this market is actually higher for the week, but not by much. The action is really not that positive. We have a minus 90 score indicating a trend is still very much down. And if one just looks at this visually, you can see very clearly that the trend is down, and there's no sign of it moving back up anytime soon. We'd certainly have to see this market go over the 3 level to really get some upward momentum, and I don't think that's going to happen. So there's the 2 months and the weekly negative. Minus 90 is a negative score indicating a trend that's down, especially closing like this on the weekend, not on the highs. So let's clear the screen. And we've got, actually, we talk about this almost not every day, but practically every day, and that is one-on-one Market Club coaching. Is it right for you? We think it is, and we'd like you to give us a call, have a free consultation, and also the call is free. How nice is that? So 877-219-1482. Give us a call today and have a free consultation and see if personal one-on-one Market Club coaching is right for you. You'll be amazed at how it can change the way you look at the market and how you trade the market and how it can make a difference on your bottom line. Hey, this is Adam Hewison. Have a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday. We'll be talking about the markets. We have lots to look at next week. I think the markets perhaps could start to resume their major trends, and we'll see. But have a great trading day and have a great weekend.